Henry, thank
and
you.
It's just beginning.
It infuriates me. I can't watch something like that and not get
that's exhausting. I find it exhilarating.
All right, joining me now is Trump economic advisor Wilbur Ross. Wilbur, based on the candidates' performances last night, you said you had the opportunity to watch it. Were any minds changed when you look at voters who still haven't decided?
Well, I think so, because Hillary's strong suit has been claiming all this experience and everything else. What has her experience been telling us? She can't tell the difference between a classified document and an unclassified. She said that last night. All these complicated things now about headers and all that. Where was she when she was hiding things? Where are the missing emails? So I think that was a horrible performance on her part. But more fundamentally, I think Donald is right. The military has had their hands tied, quite literally. I'm told by some of the people who've been serving over there, when they're going in to take out a vehicle transporting oil for the ISIS people, they have to give them warning before, tell them we're about to bomb your truck, please get out of your truck so we don't kill you. It makes no sense. That's not a way to wage a war.
Fair enough. And one criticism we heard during this show this morning was General Bob Scales of Donald Trump. I wouldn't even call it a criticism, because he said that he would go two-thirds to the side that Donald Trump is the best guy for national security, only a third to Hillary Clinton. So he still is supporting Donald Trump on that front. But he said he was critical of him not talking about the modernization of the military, fearful that his grandson would be driving Reagan-era tanks. Why don't you hear more talk from him on that?
Well, I think that there are a couple of things. Our Navy has gotten back down to the number of vessels we had in World War I. That's a little bit ridiculous when you consider things are much more global than they even were in World War I, with China and everybody else looming. So I think it's not just modernization, it's rethinking. We know that there were generals with different advice from what Obama did and seemingly different advice from what Hillary had. And then her claim that nobody got killed in Libya is just silly. I mean, didn't she watch Benghazi at all?
But Wilbur, the conservative columnist John Podhoretz is writing in a commentary piece today. It's in the New York Post. And he's critical of both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, some of the things they both said last night. But one of the issues that he hit on was at least Hillary Clinton didn't spend 3 minutes of her time sucking up to Vladimir Putin and citing Putin's poll numbers. That still sticks in the craw of conservatives, because they feel like that Trump is praising Vladimir Putin, and it did come across like that last night.
Well, I think he was simply stating facts. Putin is wildly popular with the Russian population, despite the fact that the economy is in a shambles. That's a fact. It's an interesting fact, an odd fact, but it is a fact. So
but why do people? Oh, sorry. Right, but one worth noting if you're running for the presidency, when you're praising somebody who is one of our arch enemies.
Yeah, but you have to negotiate with your enemies as well. One of Hillary and Obama's big claims is we'll be able to negotiate everything. We'll be able to get world peace. Is the world really a safer place in any regard as a result of Hillary's being Secretary of State? I don't think so.
Why do people focus on that and what he said about Putin rather than, I don't know, the Clinton Foundation and their relationship with Russia? Why do people talk about one and not the other?
Fair enough. And when we're talking about whether any minds were changed last night, you are advising Donald Trump on the economy. Fox News polling right now showing that the economy is still the number one issue for voters.
Sure.
Mark Cuban, however, says the verdict is still out. He's doubting that Trump will be the best candidate for the job. Hear his case, and I want to get your response.
Okay.
I have my Trump hedge on. In the event Donald wins, I have no doubt in my mind the market tanks. And so I literally have put on a more than 100% hedge that I'll put on stronger if it looks like there's a better chance as we go forward.
Wilbur?
Well, I think he'll lose the shirt that he's wearing with that back.
Oh, I agree with that.
So how do you convince those that are skeptical that he's the right guy for the economy that he is?
Well, he's going to be giving a very big speech next week to the Economics Club here in New York City. That's going to be a very, very important event because he'll lay out in pretty good detail his economic plan. And I think that will be a transformative moment.
All right, Mike, I want to get to this fundraising real quick. Trump was expected to release his fundraising numbers for August today, but has decided to postpone that announcement. Here are some numbers. Trump raised $36.7 million in July compared to Hillary Clinton, $52.3 million. But a big question is, does he need more money than that to beat Hillary Clinton in November?
I don't think he does because, he's a TV star. Regardless of which side you're on, when you see Trump versus Hillary on television, I think he stands out. He's been doing it for 12 years. She hasn't. So I think that's really going to play into his favor.
Oh, I think so. But more than that, Donald is also putting some of his own money into the campaign. Now, the Clintons earned a couple $100 million since Bill Clinton left the White House. As far as I know, neither one of them has put one penny into their own campaign. She wants everything free. That's basically her campaign platform, is everything should be free ride. But, at the end of the day, there are no free lunches, and I think she'll find that out pretty soon.
I do want to point out that the Trump campaign did tell the Wall Street Journal they ended August with $97 million in cash on hand. That is short of Hillary Clinton by about $50 million.
I think it's an incredible achievement for a fundraising group that didn't even exist until the beginning of June, has been able to amass the money they have, and particularly the number of small givers that they've had. The last report I saw indicated over 2.1 million individual givers. That's an extraordinary thing for a guy who's never been a campaigner before.
Fair enough. Wilbur, we've got to leave it there. Odds of a Trump victory in November, as it is today?
Well, I don't know about odds because it's a binary decision. Either he'll win or he'll lose. I believe he will win.
That was very well said.
Very well said. All right, Wilbur Ross, thanks for joining us this morning. Good stuff. All right, coming up, we were talking about this earlier, this JetBlue passenger raising alarm after she set her blankets on fire using a lighter. The shocking details and what we're learning about this, we'll have it for you next.